Jai Hind and welcome to your YouTube channel. Today's update is on China continuous power struggle for its expansion. Now, Taiwan increased its alert levels in response to China's largest military drills near its water, involving nearly 90 Chinese naval and coast guard ships. Now, China has always violated international laws. I was in IPRD this year, and after 3 days of brainstorming sessions, the conclusion was a violation of all laws, be it territorial conventions, EEZ, or unclear maritime boundaries, or even violating resources or environmental damage. All these violations are part of China's broader strategy to assert its maritime claims and challenge the existing international maritime order. Now, recently, Taiwan president have clearly marked a statement that China cannot gain respect from any country because of its aggressive military unilateral actions. He has hoped, I repeat, hoped, China will return to international norms. Now, during my recent talk at a Delhi University college, a professor expressed optimism about India-China relations confidently, stating that bilateral ties between these two nations will witness significant improvement. I will leave it up to you to decide that. I'll share my commentary on history of China in the comment section. Do let us know your comments about the same. Now, coming back to China's military movements around Taiwan, where recently Beijing's show of force targets the island chain from Japan to Borneo, and Taiwan condemned the exercises as a threat to regional stability and activated combat readiness. Now, this military movement and tensions escalated after Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te's Pacific tour, including visits to Guam and Hawaii, which China deemed provocative. Now, Taiwan's armed forces had identified Chinese People Liberation Army vessels from the Northern, Eastern, and Southern Theater commands, as well as Coast Guard vessels entering the areas. Now, Taiwan President recent South Pacific tour has also ignited tensions with Beijing after making unofficial stops in Hawaii and Guam. Now, this 7-day diplomatic mission, which concluded Friday, also included visits to Marshall Islands, Tuvalu, and Palau. That these are the nations that recognizes Taiwan's sovereignty. Now, President Lai's stops in US territories were particularly contentious as China views any interaction between Taiwan and US as a challenge to its claim over Taiwan. Why? Because it violates one China policy. So China targets entire island chain with military drills. Now, this military intimidation has been reciprocated by Taiwan combat readiness exercises to counter PLA activities and remained on high alert monitoring the PLA movements. Now, it's Taiwan who is going to decide its future and not China. Let's try to understand the nuances associated to it. China has already escalated chip war by targeting Nvidia, and now it's imperative to understand Nvidia is years ahead, I said, when it comes to most advanced chips. And here we talk about AI chips with applications in the military intelligence and beyond. And the US uses export bans to preserve this US advantage, though some end users in China have found loopholes to maintain the excess. One of the reasons the US has been able to ratchet up with this pressure on China's chip sector is because of its dominance over one of the three sectors bottlenecks, chip design, where Nvidia leads. Now, the other two bottlenecks are conveniently controlled by US partners, Taiwan's TSMC dominates advanced manufacturing and Dutch company ASML dominates the extreme ultraviolet radiation tech that underpins it all. Now, this arrangement offers the US a lot of leverage in a critical sector, but one of the reasons US partners have gone along with US export controls and foregone sales to China is that while their China revenues have dropped, they can still make a ton of cash, thereby selling lower tech chips. And yet, as the China US tit for tat escalates, tighter US controls risk further eating into revenue from ASML, Nvidia, and beyond. So, Beijing lashed out at lies travel throughout last week and vowed to take resolute and strong measures to defend their nation's sovereignty and territorial integrity. And mind, it's today's war, much beyond the land war, sea war, or air war. These are conventional wars, and in tactics or military strategy, when nations seek to undermine their adversaries, they often target their economic interests. China is employing this strategy, drawing from its ancient playbook of art of war or India's Arthashastra. This doesn't necessarily indicate China's growing strength, but rather it is a calculated maneuvering. So it's a skillful manipulation of economic levers. How will US win over chip war over China is my question. Do let us know about your thoughts in our comment section. Jai Hind and Jai Bharat.